This franchise Josh. I'm keeping y'all update with the games. So apparently we have made it in the clinch division. Brooklyn and Los Angeles has made it to the clinch playoff berth. So we have 11 games left. I played 2 games yesterday. But I'm gonna play all the rest of the games today. But I know for a fact Dallas and Oklahoma and Minnesota probably won't make it all the way through. And another thing, we probably aren't going to face Sacramento because Rockets is probably not going to make it. And the Portland Trailblazers are back where he started when I left. So enjoy these games, all these games right here. And then until we get to Portland, there will probably be the following Tuesday. I'm just gonna play these games from now on. So enjoy these 5 or 6 games. Like, comment, subscribe.
It is NBA action on EA Sports. I'm Ed Cohen. Great to be joined by Jay Williams. Should be a terrific game here tonight. From FedEx Forum, just off Beale Street in downtown Memphis. Tonight, it's the Memphis Grizzlies taking on the Atlanta Hawks. The Hawks control the tip. Trae Young to Parker. Has a look. Parker's shot off the mark. And he's fouled. Earns a trip to the foul line, Jay.
Ed, the reality is that good jump shooters know how to get those calls. Overall, though, there's less flopping in the game, which is great. But there's something uncanny about certain players' abilities to get those calls on a regular basis.
First one, count it. Able to convert on both free throws. Jay, I'm going to say that you don't know this, but since 1980, the Hawks have drafted only 4 players. Got a piece of it.
Jumping out the gym right now, Ed.
Great anticipation. Here comes the screen to Valanciunas. Jaren Jackson. 5 on the shot clock to Jaren Jackson. Oh, big finish at the rim.
Scoring is going to be so important for the Grizzlies this year. You have to remember, they were second from the bottom in points per game. Only the Kings were worse the year before.
Screen coming. Trae Young. Jonas Valanciunas swats it.
Sent a message on that one, Ed.
Finishing inside the paint on that one.
So many times you can tell if a player is going to finish before he even gets to the rim. Did you see that look on his face? That was a look of a three-point play. You always going in thinking you can get more at the rim.
Scores from the post.
You feel that? I see the confidence building.
To Jaren Jackson. Beyond the arc for three. Message received. Well defended. To Parker. Won't go down. Defender's lucky he wasn't called.
And physicality is your friend. Don't let these guys get any easy ones down low. Make them look at the refs, wondering where the foul was every time.
From long range. That's off the side of the rim. No good. Going to launch beyond the arc. That's what they brought it in for. Allen Crabbe hits the three.
Look, that shot was going up regardless of what the defender was trying to do. That's called a heat check.
The screen sets him up for two.
The pro game has really come down to PNRs. Let's see how the defense adjusts.
It's Atlanta ball. Trae Young to Allen Crabbe.
Damn.
Probing the defense.
C-R-A-B.
Lets it fly from beyond the arc. Buries it on the catch and shoot.
Every hero needs a good sidekick. Nice find to set up the three.
To Jaren Jackson. Lets it fly from long range. Tough shot. Well defended.
Great contest by the D, but I want to see the coaching staff call the same exact play the next possession. Get that offensive player the ball. Let him prove that it wasn't the D. It was more in his own head.
Trae Young to Allen Crabbe. The pass set it all up.
And if you don't contest, he's knocking that down with ease.
To Jaren Jackson. Off the mark. He loves the tough shots, but that one may be too tough. Hawks with the basketball. Get the cameras out. Flash on.
That's going to make a nice poster.
Time to adjust. Both coaches making changes on the floor. Trae Young to Allen Crabbe. Gets it in the right corner. Down low, Collins. Short jumper won't go down. Jones with it. The score 10-8. Ah, rocking the rim.
And easy two. Get back on defense.
Here comes the screen. Trae Young to Allen Crabbe. To Trae Young. Fires the three. He made his first effort, but not that time. The follow won't go either. Jones with it. 10-all is our score. Four three. Shot off the mark. Good defense.
Shooters shoot. Period. I don't want to hear any excuses. That's why you're on the floor. You keep doing what you're doing with that superior confidence.
Grabs his own miss and scores. Good concentration.
Ed, sometimes less is more. Keeping it simple is the best way.
To Jackson. Now a steal by Atlanta. To Allen Crabbe. Here's a chance from long range. Trae Young able to knock it down. Tough shot with the hand sand in his face.
Well, that change is inevitable. And one of the things that continues to fascinate me about this game, usually when you see a good three-point shooting team, their shoulders are square to the basket. That's no longer the case in today's game. These guys are off balance, they're moving different ways, yet they still have extreme shot-making ability.
Allen Crabbe, guarded by Tyus Jones. To Trae Young. Give him 2 points. High percentage.
You normally don't see that, but that's the type of thing that keeps shooters in the league for a long time. Every once in a while, they venture into the paint.
And scores. Strong take.
Another possession they were forced to take a tough shot. This time they got it to go, but they need to do something different to start creating more open look opportunities.
The Hawks will use a timeout. They'll catch their breath in what's now a 5-point game. Changes coming from both sides right now.
Number 14, Danny Green.
Austin Rivers.
Subbing in for Atlanta, number 52, Austin Rivers. 1 minute remaining in the first quarter.
To Allen Crabbe. And the reward, he's going to the line.
Guys like Gary Payton would always take ones early like this all the time. Number one, to see if they'll get caught. And number two, to leave a little mark on you to remind you that they'll be on you all game long.
First free throw is good. Two for two on that trip. Here comes the screen. Danny Green. Shot no good there by Portis. John Collins at the line for two shots. 71% for his career. First try at the line, no good.
Number 17, Valanciunas.
Knocks down the second after missing the first. Memphis with the run. To Valanciunas. Hood. Yes, and the foul. And a chance at three coming up.
The defender was actually in a good position there. They even made a decent play on the ball. But sometimes those bounces go the other way. Still, stay aggressive out there.
Josh Jackson at the line for a chance at a three-point play. His career mark right now sits at 63%. Free throw good to finish off the three-point play. It's back to a 5-point game. Able to convert inside.
The assist from number 59,
deep three at the buzzer. First quarter's complete. The Hawks with the lead. Head coach Jay Williams with you as we get things started here in the second quarter. It's Grizzlies ball. To Kyle Anderson. Probing the defense. Mitchell Robinson. Huge block. Tough-looking shot there. Still gets it to go down.
He's been doing this for years. The physicality in which he plays. No one wants to see that. You're going to leave the game with black and blue marks all over your body.
Count the basket, and it could have been more. No whistle.
There's some players out there that like the freedom of space, and then we have the anomalies. We have the players who feel comfortable being uncomfortable, and almost the physicality of the game centers them and puts them right on balance every time.
Anderson to Jaren Jackson. Jones matched up with Rivers. To Jackson. Trying to cash in. Jackson with a shot, no good. Rivers into the front court. Lead stands at 7. Nice pass to set things up.
Well, they have such great flow to their offense this evening. The ball isn't sticking to one player individually. It's moving around the perimeter, and it's zipping. They're playing with a special cohesiveness.
Here comes the screen. Josh Jackson to Danny Green. To Kyle Anderson. Has a chance. Well defended. Shot no good. If it was anyone else, they'd be back on the bench for taking that shot. Great look and vision. Lays it up and in. Now the Grizzlies will use a timeout as they'll take a moment to go over things here in the second quarter. Looks like both teams are making...
Won't go. I just love where this takes you into the psychological battle as a player offensively. Was that a great contest, or did you just miss the shot? But now you have me thinking about that the entire next possession.
It's the Hawks with the basketball. To Trae Young. Here comes the screen. It goes down.
Strong finish. That's what you need, regardless of contact, focusing on the rim.
Can't connect.
That's how you do it. You keep riding him to the basket, and if the refs aren't calling it, keep being physical. Keep knocking him off balance.
Trae Young to Rivers. Here comes the screen. The Hawks with 4 to shoot to Rivers. For 3, and knocks it down. Jay, the defender, tough to gamble that time beyond the arc.
As a shooter, your hands always have to be ready. Ready, meaning that your hands are always providing a target to the passer for an easy catch and shoot.
Gets it to go. Could have been more. A lot of contact, but no foul.
Some players are just built to absorb the contact. He pretty much dusted that defender off like that was a bug at the park.
Green, get over.
Austin Rivers, down low for Len. And the finish at the rim.
Great job using that shoulder to create contact with the defender without hesitation.
Dwayne Wade to Danny Green. Here comes the screen. Danny Green against the Ukrainian Len. Fires the 3. Second effort. Nice touch around the basket with the tip.
That's what I'm talking about, Ed. It's that simple. Put the ball in the bucket.
Hawks have it. Take stock of the floor. Layup's good. Those are the types of shots you always strive for.
No doubt about where that one was headed.
Danny Green to Wade. Has a look. Deep two there. Won't go.
See, when good shooters catch, they just shoot. When bad shooters catch, they become hesitant, reluctant. That's the first sign of a guy that doesn't have confidence.
Doesn't even see the defender. Buries the shot.
Oh, don't see the read. Be the read.
Curling inside. Oh, he's denied.
Oh, big man doing work right there.
Jonas Valanciunas. 3 for 3 in this first half.
As my mother would say to the defender, A for effort, F for results.
Trae Young to Rivers. Down low for Len. From the painted area, won't go down. Gets toughness right there. Physical inside, gets it to go.
Man, that may not have been a gimme, but that layup at the rim definitely chips away at the pride of the defense.
Oh, they called the foul, Jay.
Those cat-like hands almost got a steal.
Team foul number 1. First foul in the last 2 minutes.
Austin Rivers to Trae Young.
1 minute remaining in the second quarter.
Beyond the arc for 3. Had made his first couple, but he misses there. Nice pass to get things going.
And when the ball gets the defense rotating from side to side, you're bound to find opportunities for each other.
Here's Atlanta. To Randolph. Austin Rivers. Trae Young to Rivers. And he scores. Unguardable, Jay.
Man, he's got the defender out there tap dancing like that on national TV. That's not a good sign.
To Valanciunas. 5 on the shot clock for Memphis. 24-second violation. Long key from 3/4 court. First half in the
bitch,
books.
you missed.
The Hawks with a nice advantage.
Thanks, fellas. Jalen here with your The Hawks entered halftime with
We don't hear about
The
Hawks. We know
Grizzlies
getting our
are in
ass
need of
whooped.
some changes at the half. They've been scrappy, doing their best to be competitive. We'll see if their efforts are more rewarded in the second half. Have a look at the leading scorers for the Memphis Grizzlies.
Game track. Bench points.
The Memphis Grizzlies are getting enough bench production in this contest. Their reserves need to step up and start making an impact in this game.
Player of the half.
Here we go with the top 3. The Hawk. Back to Ed and Jay to bring you the second half action.
Enjoy.
Memphis, they've got it.
Let's go. Here we go. I got him.
Nothing going here on that drive. Leaves his man in the dust and finishes at the rim. Here on their home floor, they're chipping away.
I mean, does this crowd have a pulse? Are they even alive? Sometimes when you make a play like that, your crowd needs to get you back in this ball game.
The big fella, Zach Randolph. Not a busy night, but effective. 2 for 2.
Old school equals high percentage.
And the finish on the nice step through.
When the ball's in his hands, we all knew what was going to happen.
Just give me the ball and let me handle this shit. Trae Young is basically running for
Trae Young to Randolph. He gets it.
Hey, one of the things I hear all the great teams say in the huddle, they say 1, 2, 3, no mercy. Now it's time for you to go even harder on the defensive end.
Jaren Jackson. Oh, Jay, he commands the paint this time down.
Ooh, cool, calm, and collective. The 3 C's. His handles are effortless.
Sent it away.
Did you see how far he got up? He kept going up and up and up. I think he's still going up.
Old school. Backs his man down for the basket.
Clearly not afraid of the spotlight here because that was not an easy look.
To Jaren Jackson. And he's fouled. Very close, Jay. Free throws coming up.
Smart play to rip through the extended arm of the defender. That will get you to the free throw line every time.
Knocks down the first. And gets both to drop at the line. Trae Young to Allen Crabbe. Swings it to Parker from long range. Hits it. And the foul. And a chance now at a 4-point play.
The most important part for the offensive player is to create space. If you can create space, you can find your rhythm. And that's what we saw.
Jabari Parker with a chance at a 4-point play. A career 74% free throw shooter. 3-pointer plus a free throw on that trip. Grizzlies at the controls right now. Sizing up the defense. Whistled for the foul. Chance coming up at the free throw line.
You got to know your personnel. That's not someone you want to send to the line for a free 2.
First one goes down. Good free throw shooting. Knocks down a pair. To Randolph. Trae Young to Parker. Can't connect from in close. Wade. blocked away.
That's why a rim protector is a necessity in this game.
No, I don't like that.
Hey, lock up.
Trey.
Shit. Damn. Oh.
Young to Parker. Going to launch beyond the arc. At his core, he is dangerous. Jabari Parker, wide open, drills it.
You live by the three, you die by the three. And guess what? They're living large right now.
Jabari Parker
I'm not
tips
paying
it.
to Jabari
He
Parker.
blocked that with
This
authority.
shit is not right.
Count it.
Oh man, you're not supposed to be able to do that with that size. But in today's game, dexterity and mobility are off the charts for bigs.
Jumper's good.
The one thing we know for certain in this league, it doesn't matter how big the margin is, you can always put together a run and get back in this one.
Trey Young to Parker. Jonas Valanciunas sends it away.
This game is all about playing mind tricks on people. The offense is more worried about getting their shot blocked than they are about actually making the shot.
To Wade. Lets it fly from beyond the arc. Like the confidence, but a tough shot for Dwayne Wade. Parker into the front court. His guys up by 15.
Good shit, John.
Grizzlies own the basketball. Finishing inside the paint on that one. Now the Hawks coach gonna call a timeout as their coaching staff wants to talk things over here in this third quarter. Some lineup changes now for both clubs.
Substitutions, Washington Caps.
You're out, man. It's too easy. On your left. Here he comes.
Trey Young lets it fly from long range, and the rebound taken in by Memphis. Ah, you've got to get that one to go. Had a chance, but it's no good. Jones with it. The deficit now up to 13. Can't connect. Trey Young to Allen Crabbe. Slams it down.
Man, they are just continuing to pour it on. But the one thing we know about in this league, you have to make sure that you continue to play with energy because leads can evaporate quickly.
To Kyle Anderson. Fires the three. Can't blame the defense. Anderson finds a way to hit the three.
Ed, let me tell you how this one goes. It ain't no fun if the homies can't have some. Everyone's getting a piece of the rock tonight.
Trey Young. Trying to cash in. That's what you've come to expect. Your best players making baskets.
Okay, but not everything is going to make it into the scouting report.
4-3. Can't go down. Smothering defense.
And big-time coaching strategy by the staff right there, utilizing their bench, keeping fresh legs on that shooter consistently throughout the course of the game.
Oh, emphatic slam. He's been a one-man show, but Jay, they're still down in this one.
He's their lone bright star, their only star tonight. Some other of the supporting cast members really need to step up.
Anderson. Big finish at the rim.
We call that get your money and put it in the bank.
Trey Young to Allen Crabbe. Down low for Len. Perfect feed to set up the basket.
Well, the shooting has been spectacular, but one of the things that I've seen as the difference maker in this ball game is how they are catching the basketball. They're not establishing a pivot foot, which leaves the defense wondering which way you can drive, but when that shot is working like that, you got it any way you want it.
Here comes the screen. Deep three at the buzzer. There's the buzzer. 3 quarters complete. The Hawks already pulling away. Hawks with the basketball to start this 4th quarter. And Jay, I'm as shocked as you are. Neither of us expected this.
Ed, I'm sitting here shaking my head because I am baffled. I thought maybe they could have given them a game, but I don't think anyone saw them with a double-digit lead to start the 4th quarter.
And he finishes at the rim.
Bodies bouncing all around that lane. The offense winning that battle. But if the defense keeps up that kind of pressure, good things are bound to happen.
Austin Rivers to Allen Crabbe.
So we're gonna come back and we're gonna destroy these niggas.
Down low for Len. Flushes it home.
This type of game needs to be celebrated. This is the type of culture that is fostered when you play with unselfish players. When you give up a little bit of yourself and you make your teammate look great, that's the difference between winning and losing. So when you see these guys smiling, when you see them giving each other high fives, that's because of the energy that was created from the pass. Pass is one of the most brilliant things we have in this game.
Austin Rivers to Allen Crabbe. Five to shoot for Atlanta. Here's a chance from long range. Defense was ready. Tough shot for Austin Rivers. Jones with it. The deficit now up to a dozen. Yes! And a foul. He'll have a chance at a 3-point play.
Ed, you ever bail out of something at the last second? That's what I saw right there from the defender. We call that no man's land. They weren't really committed to getting out of the way, committing a hard foul, or taking the brunt of the contact.
Off the mark at the line.
Oh my God, coach, you're a dick. Or have me come out at the end. No one was gonna catch up. Now this fucking Clippers probably in the lead.
For 3, Jackson comes down with the rebound. Fires the 3. He engulfed him that time.
And look, sometimes you don't have it going every single night. Maybe utilize yourself as a decoy and get some teammates involved with your passing.
Memphis with the rock. Valanciunas. Count the bucket for 2.
So many times you can tell if a player is going to finish before he even gets to the rim. Did you see that look on his face? That was a look of a 3-point play. You always going in thinking you can get more at the rim.
And Jay, they call the foul.
That's just a blatant foul. Maybe he's trying to make a statement.
His 3rd personal foul. Team foul number 3.
Screen coming. Beyond the arc for 3. Valanciunas there for the board. Jones with it. Down a bundle. From long range.
That'll be a winning formula in overtime every time. Answer a 2 on one end with a 3 on the other. Ed, tell me if I'm wrong, but I think a 3 is more than a 2, correct?
That is great math, my friend. Trae Young to Allen Crabbe. To Trae Young. Going to launch beyond the arc. Knocks it down.
And here's the setup, Ed, down the stretch. From a player who's been in these type of positions, Eventually, I'm going to hit you with a head fake, and you're going to have to jump considering I just made the last couple of threes. And that's when I find an easy way to get to the rim or force the defense to collapse to kick out for, guess what, another one.
To Jaren Jackson. Here comes the screen. That's what you like to see off the pick and roll. Nice, easy basket.
It's easy to become mesmerized when you watch a player who can create off the dribble. We call that dancing. When you allow a player to dance with that much space, that's Prob City.
Driving right to the basket. Here comes the screen. Picked up by Memphis. Lets it fly from beyond the arc. He's had a good shooting performance, but it doesn't look like it's going to be enough.
Yeah, no one else pretty much helped out. As a coach, I would be irate that nobody helped pick up the slack. Look, one man can never beat five.
Count the basket at the rim.
This type of game needs to be celebrated. This is the type of culture that is fostered when you play with unselfish players. When you give up a little bit of yourself and you make your teammate look great, that's the difference between winning and losing. So when you see these guys smiling, when you see them giving each other high fives, that's because of the energy that was created from the pass. Pass is one of the most brilliant things we have in this game.
And they called a foul. Felt the breeze there, Jay.
He took a chance. That's the right call.
Trae Young, down for Collins. Oh, emphatic slam. At this point, if it continues, it just may be good night, Irene.
And I like that Irene line.
There you go, Jay.
And sometimes as a player on the defensive end, Ed, you need to draw a line in the sand. You have to find a way to change the narrative. Because right now, the constant theme has been too many easy buckets.
Jay, don't deny it. You're an old soul at heart.
Yeah, I still don't know who Irene is.
Me neither. Knocked loose. Taken away by the Grizzlies. Out of bounds the call. Last touch by Dwayne Wade. The Hawks are victorious as they win this one handily. For Jay Williams and all our crew, I'm Ed Cohen saying...
That's game one, everybody.
And that does it for our post-game wrap-up. On behalf of ESPN on EA Sports, I'm Jalen Rose. Thanks for joining us.
It's NBA action on EA Sports. I'm Ed Cohen. Great to be joined by Jay Williams for what should be a terrific matchup here tonight. We're at Chesapeake Energy Arena in downtown OKC. Tonight, it's the Oklahoma City Thunder taking on the Memphis Grizzlies. Our opening tip won by the Thunder as we get started in OKC. Down low, Gallinari. Perfect feed to set up the basket.
There are certain guys in this league that should be put on alert status 24/7 because either they're posterizing you or that attempt can still be a poster.
Layup's good. Those are the types of shots you always strive for.
When the ball's in his hands, we all knew what was going to happen.
With the rock, it's Chris Paul. To Adams. Blocked away.
Ooh, not skipping a beat. There are some things that you just cannot teach. That's called a 6'10 frame with a 7'5 wingspan.
Yes, and a foul. He'll have a chance at a three-point play.
People become so fixated on the hands or the arms or the strengths of the arms. I look at the legs. The strength of his legs help him power through that play. That's how you get and ones.
Free throw's good. A three-point play. And with that, they go up by 3. Paul into the front court. Looking to make something happen. Just off the mark.
And that's how you close out on a shooter with a sense of urgency. The shooter was more worried about his landing space than he was the shot.
Rises for the slam.
That's the intensity you need to see. Whenever a player running back on defense after a dunk like that holds the inside of his forearm, it lets you know how hard he dunked that basketball.
Bad pass taken away by the Grizzlies. Grizzlies at the controls right now. From long range, that's how you defend.
Just because you're an elite shooter doesn't mean you need to shoot the ball every possession. Maybe give a head fake, crack into the defender, get to the free throw line, see the ball go in the hole.
Jones with it, up by 3 to Jaren Jackson. Gets it in the right corner. Valanciunas to Wade. Has a chance. Shot misses for Wade. To Paul. Lets it fly from long range. Working hard on the glass. Big man, Steven Adams. Missed his first. That one goes.
I'm not sure that wasn't an offensive foul, but take it when you can get it.
To Wade. Beyond the arc for 3. His first effort off the mark. Paul to Adams. Steven Adams with the slam.
I don't think I could do that on the 5-foot rim.
I can, because that's my only choice. Grizzlies own the basketball to Jaren Jackson. Runner's good there.
They're going to have to find answers defensively and quickly because he's carving them up in the first quarter.
Now Paul with the basketball. Down a point. Screen coming. Paul, defended by Jones. Down low, Gallinari. Nice pace, sets it up, and slams it down.
An easy 2. Get back on defense.
Number 13, Chris Paul.
Just not going down.
And you see so many players quit on a play after they were beat the first time, but not him. He stayed on his hip, he fought back, and he
Got a piece of it.
jumping out the gym right now, Ed.
Great anticipation.
Let's go. Y'all know what time it is.
4-3. That no good, off the mark. Here's Paul. Brings it up the floor. To Adams. Has a look. Knocks it down from mid-range.
Well, they have such great flow to their offense this evening. The ball isn't sticking to one player individually. It's moving around the perimeter, and it's zipping. They're playing with a special cohesiveness.
We have both squads set to make some moves right now. Jones with it. They're down 3. Fires the 3. Now that's a contest. Nothing going here on that drive. To Paul. The screen sets him up for 2. There's a sixth sense there that you just can't teach.
If you're a player on the same team with CP3, you should be taking that point guard out to dinner every single night. There's something to be said about a guard that makes the game way easier for you to be even more of an efficient offensive player.
Doesn't have the touch. No good.
It's easy. Force guys into low percentage shots. That's the reason why we're big into stats. It was all provided to you before the game in the scouting report.
Paul, down to Adams. Not that time. A drive down the lane, but the shot won't go. Paul into the front court. Just under a minute to play here in this opening quarter. And the reward, a couple of shots at the line.
Hey, look, sometimes you need to feel out your opponent. Let them know you're there. I'm okay with that early foul.
Misses the first.
Number 14, Danny Green. Into the game for the Oklahoma City Thunder. Number 2, Danilo Gallinari.
We got this. Let's go.
No good. Missed them both.
Into the game for the Thunder.
Paul, guarded by Tyus Jones. And he's fouled.
I didn't foul it.
Free throws coming up. Check.
Love the fact that the shooter created contact on the upward motion to shoot the basketball. Big time play.
Wayne Ellington at the line for 2 shots. A career 85% free throw shooter. And he connects on the first free throw. 2 for 2 on that trip. Fires the 3. Can't go down. Smothering defense.
And look, sometimes you don't have it going every single night. Maybe utilize yourself as a decoy and get some teammates involved with your passing.
Nothing going here on that drive. Paul. Trying to cash in. Gallinari off the mark. Memphis, they've got it. Here's a chance from long range, and the rebound taken in by Robertson. Oh, highlight moves. Tough to pull off with the defender all over you. Ooh, crisp ball. 3 for 3 in this first half.
I don't know what halftime evaluation will be worse, the ankles or the bruised ego.
To the rim, lays it up and in.
Did you see the way that dribble freed him up? It created so much space. I did, but the defender didn't.
Paul with it up top. The advantage is
No,
13
you took the
points.
ball and didn't get the ball back. Wow.
Has a chance. Can't connect. Defense did its job that time. Jones with it. He'll run the offense. And count the basket inside.
That's what I'm talking about, Ed. It's that simple. Put the ball in the bucket.
Oklahoma City's got it. Here's CP3. Ooh, crisp ball. Terrific shooting. He's
That's
4
exactly
for 5.
why
He has
I
that
need
sixth
to
sense that you just can't teach.
He's
I'm
like a
the one doing
traffic
it,
cop,
and
and he's
I'm
navigating
taking
a
care of
myriad of
CP3.
bodies coming his way. And there's a smaller innuendo of the game that nobody talks about. When he makes a great pass, he'll tell the offensive player, shoot it, go up, dunk it. He will direct you and lead you to success.
Paul across the timeline. His team on top by 13. Yes, it drops. Little drama on that one.
You see, you can't actually get mesmerized by the ball. You actually have to focus on the dribbler's belly button. I know that may sound cheesy, but trust me, he can't go anywhere without his core.
Got it.
Oh, yeah.
No doubt about where that one was headed.
Paul guarded by Tyus Jones. Short jumper stays out. Jones with it. His guys trail by 13. Count the basket at the rim.
Man, that may not have been a gimme, but that layup at the rim definitely chips away at the pride of the defense.
It's Paul for 2. Off the mark with deep. Defense like that, little margin for error. Flash at the controls. Yes, and the foul. And a chance at 3 coming up.
The offense has very little to lose on those type of plays if they know they can, number 1, create contact, and number 2, still get the ball up. You need to assert yourself fully on the defensive end by initiating the contact and not allowing the offensive player to get that ball above his waist.
Free throw is good to finish off the three-point play. And the margin down to 8. Paul into the front court. Counting down toward a minute to go in this first half. Jonas Valanciunas sends it away.
Sent a message on that one, Ed.
Finishing inside the paint on that one. Now a whistle, and we're going to get a timeout from OKC as they'll take a moment to go over things here in the second quarter.
So we ask that all smoking take place in the designated areas located outside of the arena. Thank you for your cooperation.
Paul. Jonas Valanciunas able to recover with the block and throws it down.
That's what I'm talking about. Nice finish. It's all business.
Andre Robertson tips it. Has a look.
Don't stare him down like that afterwards.
Now Paul with the basketball. His team on top by 8. Nice finish at the rim.
And attention to detail is everything for a professional scorer like that. Actually getting it done the hard way.
Gets to the basket and scores.
Clearly not afraid of the spotlight here because that was not an easy look.
Paul into the front court. It's an 8-point lead. Oh, emphatic slam.
The assist from number 8, Danilo.
Deep three at the buzzer. That's it for the first half. And a nice cushion for the Thunder.
Thanks, Ed. Let's get right into the action here. The Thunder will start the second half with a decent lead. They decided to make a statement in the opening half, and they did it by throwing down dunk after dunk after dunk. I think the rim is still shaking. Have a look at the leading scorers for the Oklahoma City Thunder. The Grizzlies are in need of some changes at the half. Of course, they still have 2 quarters to turn things around, but it won't happen without making some adjustments. These are the guys getting buckets for the Memphis Grizzlies.
Game track. Assists.
The Memphis Grizzlies are struggling to move the ball and create good looks for each other. All right, back to the second half. I'll see you after the game. Run, go, flip the floor, run the floor. Got him. Good track.
Deep left corner.
Screen coming left.
Wade
Screen coming,
against Adams. Oh, good work to step in front. The pass taken away. Great dish to set it up. Paul, that's off the side of the rim, short. Danilo Gallinari with a piece. End to end on that one. 94 feet for the basket.
All right, you got the first bucket of the second half. Now get a stop because honestly, that's where your troubles were in the first.
It goes down.
Three C's. His handles are effortless.
It's Grizzlies ball. Yes, and a foul. He'll have a chance at a 3-point play.
And I love the smile on the face of the offensive player. Sometimes luck is on your side. I don't know how that shot went in, but and one.
Tyus Jones trying to cash in on a 3-point play. A career 81% free throw shooter. Free throw good to cap off the 3-point play. That cuts it to a 7-point game. It's a turnover as they head the other way. Layup goes down. Well done.
Hand down, man down. You got to get up and contest the shot.
Paul with it up top. Looking to make something happen. Trying to cash in. Shot no good there by Gallinari.
I love when I see a good contest. You're crowding the player's landing space, which naturally makes him worrisome about turning an ankle on that landing.
Here's Paul, controlling the offense. The rebound's pulled down by the Grizzlies. Jones with it. His guys down 3. Steven Adams snatching it out of the air.
That's why a rim protector is a necessity in this game.
The Thunder will use a timeout as they'll talk things over in a one-point basketball game.
An effort only fully releases its reward after a person refuses to quit. What I like about this team is that they continue to execute. As a coach, we used to talk about it all the time. I would hear it every single day. Execute, execute, execute. But if you can play with energy and execute, that's the formula for success.
Paul picked up by Jones. Short jumper misses. Lets it fly from beyond the arc. Buries it on the catch and shoot.
And let me tell you how this one goes. It ain't no fun if the homies can't have some. Everyone's getting a piece of the rock tonight.
Down low Adams. Big man, Steven Adams. 3 for 6 now.
Old school equals high percentage.
Jones with it. Tie game, 3rd quarter. To Jaren Jackson. Count the basket. 2 more points in the paint.
Because in certain players' mind, it doesn't matter if they're amongst the trees or not. They're always going to be the giant in the paint.
To Adams. Memphis with the rock. A drive baseline, but the shot won't go.
Get down. Half court, hands off.
It's going down.
Jonas Valanciunas pins it. Send it away.
Did you see how far he got up? He kept going up and up and up. I think he's still going up.
To Valanciunas. Nice pace. Sets it up and slams it down.
We call that get your money and put it in the bank.
Paul across the timeline. His group now down 2. Here comes the screen. Paul to Adams. Steven Adams with the slam. Jay, I'm surprised he had a chance to wrap him up.
Well, you're not the only one surprised. This guy is not a good free throw shooter. You never let him have an easy bucket. If anything, make him earn it at the charity stripe.
Both coaches hitting the reset button. Fred.
From the start, let's do it.
Substitutions, Memphis. Subbing in for Oklahoma.
Grizzlies at the controls right now. Jones guarded by Schroeder.
Right into it.
Probing the defense. Nothing going here on that drive. Goes to the left side. Wade. The rebound belongs to Oklahoma City. Here's Schroeder with it. Down 3. Rebound Jackson. Oh, the touch at the rim. Count it.
This type of game needs to be celebrated. This is the type of culture that is fostered when you play with unselfish players. When you give up a little bit of yourself and you make your teammate look great, that's the difference between winning and losing. So when you see these guys smiling, when you see them giving each other high fives, that's because of the energy that was created from the pass. Pass is one of the most brilliant things we have in this game.
And the finish at the rim.
This type of game needs to be celebrated. This is the type of culture that is fostered when you play with unselfish players. When you give up a little bit of yourself and you make your teammate look great, that's the difference between winning and losing. So when you see these guys smiling, when you see them giving each other high fives, that's because of the energy that was created from the pass. Pass is one of the most brilliant things we have in this game.
Going along
There you go.
beyond the
I'm
arc.
in real life trying to do that again.
Schroeder with the basketball. The margin standing now at 7. The drive right to the basket. Split the D there, but he can't get it to drop. Grizzlies own the basketball. For 3, knocks it down. That was a tough shot.
Don't seem shocked. This is how the game is played these days. Shooting a 3 is like shooting a layup.
Hands up. Hands up.
Schroeder. Terrific vision. Jonas Valanciunas sends it away. And that'll get out of bounds. Last touch by the Grizzlies. Schroeder. OKC now with 4 to shoot from long range. Well defended.
And big-time coaching strategy by the staff right there, utilizing their bench, keeping fresh legs on that shooter consistently throughout the course of the game.
Dwayne Wade rocking the rim.
I wasn't quite expecting him to get there, but I can be wrong. Sometimes, not a lot, but maybe sometimes.
Now a whistle, and we're going to get a timeout from OKC. They're down big in this 4th quarter, and a chance here to empty their bench. Schroeder, guarded by Tyus Jones.
Hey, double screen.
Offensive board. Nice touch around the basket with the tip.
Contact on a drive can be a beautiful thing. Making those tough shots can really help you build a mental advantage over your defender.
Lets it fly from long range. Oh, that's how it's done.
That shot was nice, but that pass, that was the real highlight. Good teams always find a way to get the best shot available.
Just inside the arc. At the buzzer, Grizzlies get the victory as they win this one handily. That'll wrap things up. For Jay Williams and our entire crew, I'm Ed Cohen. This has been a presentation of the NBA on EA Sports.
After the playoffs is over, this is Antonio Jones' final season. I am not doing a 3rd season with him. So,
Jalen Rose here.
wish
And I've
him
got your
luck
EA
this
Sports
year.
post-game wrap-up. The Grizzlies almost let this one get away from them, but they managed to get the victory. The defense in this matchup was outstanding. When they weren't blocking shots, they were making steals, and it all came together for a terrific win. What you see here is how the majority of the points were scored for the Memphis Grizzlies. The Thunder lost a tight one today, and you can see the disappointment. And while they didn't win the game, they could have won a dunk contest. They put down plenty of slams in this matchup. Check out the leading scores for the Oklahoma City Thunder.
Game track. 3-point shooting.
Each of these teams were solid with their long-range shooting. So by extension, they were pretty poor with their perimeter defense. Closing out on shooters must always happen, whether you're tired or not.
Player of the game.
When you see these highlights, it's easy to see how this guy earned the award. His impact on the game wasn't lost on anyone.
Who was cold?
What?
So all I'm worried about is this. Okay, they 38-11.
Here's a look at what's coming up for the Oklahoma City Thunder. And that does it for our post-game wrap-up. On behalf of ESPN on EA Sports, I'm Jalen Rose. Thanks for joining us.
Oh, damn, I keep forgetting that Clippers are not Southwest. Oh, this nigga don't have my number. Don't give me that phone.
It's NBA action on EA Sports. I'm Ed Cohen. Great to be joined by Jay Williams for what should be a terrific matchup here tonight. From Quicken Loans Arena, tonight the Cleveland Cavaliers taking on the Memphis Grizzlies. The Memphis Grizzlies control the tap. To Jaren Jackson. Jumper's good.
Here's a tip for your defense. You can't give him that much space. You have to push up into his personal space and make him play the majority of the possessions with his back to the basket. Because if you allow him to open up, there's no stopping.
Here comes the screen. Brogdon. Jonas Valanciunas with a piece. Oh, good defense by Memphis as they come up with the steal.
I'm hearing some boos from the crowd. They know just like I know you're not getting back on D.
Brogdon to Love. That's what you've come to expect. Your best players making baskets.
I hear so many players talk about, oh, my skill set is this or my skill set is that. How about your skill set is your effort on the defensive end? That's something we don't talk about as much as we need to.
Here comes the screen. Lets it fly from beyond the arc. Buries it on the catch and shoot.
I mean, does he have eyes in the back of his head or what? I get paid money to watch and study this game daily. Even I didn't see that angle.
Sexton. From long range. Missed it. And a putback slam.
Ed, it's pretty amazing how athletic Biggs can be when it comes to getting easy 2 points, huh?
Jones with it. His team up by 1. Here comes the screen. Fires the 3.
I might just take a break with him for a while and come back playing.
First one, count it. And he hits the second. Knocks down all 3 at the line. Cavs at the controls. Sexton. To Brogdon. Dwayne Wade. Huge block.
Sent a message on that one, Ed.
Count it. No and 1. There was some contact there.
They're going to have to find answers defensively and quickly because he's carving them up in the first quarter.
Knocked
Oh
loose.
shit, I had the ball. It was still. Fucked it up.
Sexton to Love. Off the assist.
You normally don't see that, but that's the type of thing that keeps shooters in the league for a long time. Every once in a while, they venture into the paint.
To the outside. Lets it fly from long range.
Yeah,
If he's hitting shots, it could be a long night.
Great shot by the offense. But the defense, you can't afford to collapse off that penetration. I'd rather a team take a tough 2 than a wide open 3.
Brogdon to Colin Sexton. Yes, and the foul. And a chance at 3 coming up.
Oh, he should get some kind of acting award. That's a great sell by the offensive player. But guess what? The refs bit, and that's the game.
Free throw is good to finish off the 3-point play. That slices the lead down to 4. And now it's Flash with the basketball. Nothing going here on that drive. To Jaren Jackson. Can't connect from inside. Sexton to Love. Deep left corner.
Old school equals high percentage.
For 3, he engulfed him that time.
Just because you're an elite shooter doesn't mean you need to shoot the ball every possession. Maybe give a head fake, crack into the defender, get to the free throw line, see the ball go in the hole.
Hey, big screen right there, big screen.
Sexton. Short jumper misses. Jones with it. Lead is 2. Gets it to go, and the foul.
Hey, you ever bail out of something at the last second? That's what I saw right there from the defender. We call that no man's land. They weren't really committed to getting out of the way, committing a hard foul, or taking the brunt of the contact.
Free throw good to finish off the three-point play. The lead is up to 5. Ball in possession of Cleveland. They'll get it down to Thompson. Won't go down. Defender's lucky he wasn't called. To Rodney Hood. Going to launch beyond the arc. Not get.
Sorry. I got more food stamps. I know she sleeps, so text her.
In the bounce. It's a big finish. Gotta love the rim rockers.
Gotta be careful, though. Don't hang on the rim too long. You might get a tee.
The assist from number 2.
Tough-looking shot there. Still gets it to go down.
Well, when you play for each other and not just for yourself, that's when great things happen. You essentially lose yourself in what the team is trying to accomplish. It's called unselfish basketball. And there's nothing more beautiful than rewarding your teammate with a nice pass and letting them finish for 2 or 3 points.
Beyond the arc for 3. His first effort off the mark.
And look, sometimes you don't have it going every single night. Maybe utilize yourself as a decoy and get some teammates involved with your passing.
Cash is in for 2.
I wish I could unlock the dunk packages. It would be so much easier. The last guy I had was LeBron dunk
Sexton.
packages.
And they call the foul. Out the breeze there, Jay.
That's just a blatant foul. Maybe he's trying to make a statement.
Both coaches hitting the reset button. Fresh legs coming onto the floor. Clarkson down for Iguodala. Too much contact. And free throws coming.
Okay.
Oh my
Hacking does
God.
still
Y'all
exist.
hate me. I can
Might
tell
be
y'all
setting the
that.
tone for the second half
Y'all
here.
hate me.
Andre
I did
Iguodala.
not
Couple free
follow
throws
him.
on the way. 71%
I followed
for
him the
his
first
career.
time, not the second time, no.
First free throw is good.
Hey, this our game.
Can't connect on the second, and he splits the pair.
Stepping in, the Cleveland Cavaliers. Number 2.
It's Grizzlies ball. Danny Green. Nothing going here on that drive. Second effort.
Down.
To Clarkson. Layup's good. Those are the types of shots you always strive for.
And if you don't contest, he's knocking that down with ease.
That pass stolen by the Cavs. To Clarkson. That's toughness right there. Physical inside, gets it to go.
Well, he finished strong because he was able to initiate the contact. When you initiate the contact first, you bounce off the defender, which balances you at the rim.
Pass stolen by the Cavs.
Come on, let's dig in. Let's really build this lead.
Look out, Larry Nance Jr.
That's what I'm talking about. Nice finish. It's all business.
Here's a chance from long range. Not easy.
Well, the defense has been good, but the shot-making ability has been better. And sometimes for NBA players at this level, the more you're in their face, the more it helps them center their focus on the target, which is making the shot. I know it sounds weird, but trust me, it's a real thing.
The Cavs, just for fun.
substitution being made in this one. Clarkson to Colin Sexton. Nance to Clarkson. Bad pass taken away by the Grizzlies.
We're going to see a team take the lead here.
Throws it down with the defender all over him. He was ready right at the tip.
What a first half he's having. He came out of the gate, attacked, found ways to get to the rim. Now look how easy the game is coming to him.
Sexton to Evans. Jonas Valanciunas swats it.
That's why a rim protector is a necessity in this game.
Yes, when this guy's open, look out. Nearly automatic.
You know what I like about this pass play? Instead of putting his head down and forcing the action, he patiently waited for the play to develop.
Fires the three. Hands in his face. Josh Jackson can't connect. Clarkson to Evans. Can't do that.
A simple touch foul.
Time to shuffle things up.
Team foul number 4. Memphis Grizzlies are at the limit. Substitutions, Memphis.
Cut, I got yours.
Sexton to Evans. Wide open look, won't go. Jones with it. He'll run the offense. Jaren Jackson to Valanciunas. Stuffs it down with authority.
Well, they have such great flow to their offense this evening. The ball isn't sticking to one player individually. It's moving around the perimeter, and it's zipping. They're playing with a special cohesiveness.
Evans to Clarkson. 4-3. Steps out and hits.
And if you're on D right now, if you're off on the weak side, stunt towards the driver. That means fake at him. Don't overcommit. Stunt, then get back to your stay at home. Force him to make one of those passes or force him to take a crazy shot at the rim.
Now a drive, but the shot won't fall. Grabs his own miss and scores. Good concentration.
Contact on a drive can be a beautiful thing. Making those tough shots can really help you build a mental advantage over your defender.
Baseline drive. Sexton.
How much one go so slow and you don't hit it?
Hey, this our game. Let's take it home now.
Flash at the controls. Nothing going here on that drive.
So,
To Valanciunas.
I got you.
Jonas Valanciunas. With that, he's 5 for 9.
He's been doing this for
He's
years. The
5'9".
physicality in which he plays. No one wants to see that. You're going to leave the game with black and blue marks all over your body.
Oh, nice find for the basket.
Bodies bouncing all around on that
You know,
layup.
my
With
damn
the
nerves.
offense winning that battle. But if the defense keeps up that kind of pressure, good things are bound to happen.
John Henson pins
probably
it.
doing this.
Oh, he blocked that with
You got lucky on that one, bro.
Got it.
absolute stud, just flexing on them on both the defensive and offensive end. I don't know if we should call him the young bull anymore. He's maturing right in front of our eyes.
Lets it fly from beyond the arc. It's Love with the rebound. Sexton. Cruises inside for 2.
That's a strong finish. Regardless of contact, finishing strong is key.
Grizzlies at the controls right now. Dwayne Wade. From long range. Great defense, forcing the miss.
Oh, shit.
Sexton. Bobby Portis snatching it out of the air.
That kid can block out the sun, Ed.
No, he wasn't
Chance, but it's no good.
What
Seems like a lot of contact on that play. If I were that player, I would pull the ref over to the side, talk to him, express to him how much contact there was, so he could look for that same foul call potentially the next time down the court.
Flushes it home.
Oh, man, did you see that swiftness? He dunked that thing like a tennis ball.
It looked like that in his hand. Sexton to Love. He was hacked. They let it go. Follows and finishes.
And the true test of a team's character is how they respond when they get hit in the mouth. Keep digging.
Good shit, Wade.
Wade fires the three. Textbook defense.
Big-time coaching strategy by the staff right there, utilizing their bench, keeping fresh legs on that shooter consistently throughout the course of the game.
Jones with it. The deficit is 6. Finishing inside the paint on that one.
Man, that may not have been a gimme, but that layup at the rim definitely chips away at the pride of the defense.
Sexton to Love. It was right there. Lets it fly from long range. No good. That's great defense. The follow won't go either.
Oh my God.
And draws the foul.
This drives me nuts when I see fouls like that being called in a close game. Sometimes you just gotta let them play, ref.
And hits the first free throw.
Yes.
No back-to-back free throws here. He missed the second. Nothing going here on that drive. For 3. And it's Iguodala to claim the rebound. Cleveland has the basketball. Jonas Valanciunas sends it away.
Just erasing mistakes left and right.
Dwayne Wade, better late than never. That was his first shot, and it goes down.
There's some players out there that like the freedom of space, and then we have the anomalies. We have the players who feel comfortable being uncomfortable. And almost the physicality of the game centers them and puts them right on balance every time.
Jones with it. The deficit now up to 5. Trying to cash in. Deep 2 there. Won't go. Nice follow-up on the dunk there. Jay, let's see if that's a sign for him.
Well, he's been pretty much non-existent the first 3 quarters, but when you have a play like that, that can get the juices going, and that can help you with your offensive rhythm.
Slams it down.
You know, from a point guard perspective, one of the things that I learned when I played in the league was that the more I was willing to give the ball up, the harder other players were willing to run to their spots. The harder the bigs were running to the rim. The harder the three-point shooters were running to the three-point line because they knew they could be active recipients. And when they caught the ball, they knew exactly what to do with it.
Here comes the screen.
Screen right.
And that's rebounded by Memphis. Grizzlies own the basketball. Probing the defense. Valanciunas. Going to launch beyond the arc. Buries it.
Yeah, and what we're seeing is a brilliant offensive display. You have ball movement, player movement, and great shooting to top it off. You get those 3 things going, you're going to be a dynamic offensive unit.
He about to try to hit the ball reader.
Deep 3 at the buzzer.
Oh, he waited too late.
Kevin Love is going to get 3 shots here for his career 82%. And he connects on the first free throw. It's a second. One more coming.
Oh, he got a 3-point play.
almost settles for a 2-3 trip. Third quarter comes to an end. The Cavaliers with the lead.
Damn. Nobody should have fouled him. What the fuck?
Grizzlies get the first crack at it as we begin the fourth quarter. And this one looked like it might be a mismatch coming in. But, Jay, this has been a much closer game than anybody could have bargained for.
Well, these are the moments within the games where the team with the lead gets a little bit tight. When a team who's down, who has the firepower that this team does, you got to make sure that you execute every matter of the game in order to finally close it out.
Right down the lane, but the shot won't go. Jones with it. Leads just a point. Beyond the arc for three. Oh, he couldn't get it to go. Basket's good on the follow. Way to stay with it.
I'm not sure that wasn't an offensive foul, but take it when you can get it.
The screen sets him up for two.
You know, he may not show up in your feed all the time with the crazy highlights, but he's one of the most underrated creative shot makers we have in this game.
Here's a chance from long range, trying for a 30-point night, but it's no good. Nice touch around the basket with the tip.
2 points. Take them any way you can get them.
Cavaliers with the basketball. Clarkson to Brogdon. Screen coming.
So after this game, when we
The
get to
defense.
Portland, I'm about to change my shoes. This is a special
Brogdon
homecoming
to
for me.
Clarkson. Fires the three. Jordan Clarkson hounded. Shot off the mark. To Wade. Here comes the screen. To Wade. 4-3. Dwayne Wade blanketed, shoots and hits.
And the three-point shot of the offense applies so much pressure on the defense, you can no longer build your teams inside out. The new way, you build your team outside in.
To Clarkson. Lets it fly from beyond the arc. Won't go for Brogdon. Had a hand in his face.
Great contest by the D, but I want to see the coaching staff call the same exact play the next possession. Get that offensive player the ball. Let him prove that it wasn't the D. It was more in his own head.
From long range. Well defended. Clarkson with the basketball. Now down 6. All by himself. Creates his own shot there.
Look at that, calm under pressure. You see a lot of guys rush those. Nice extra move, though.
Whistle and a timeout for Memphis as they'll talk things over in what's now a 4-point game. Both coaches dipping into their reserves. Changes coming onto the floor.
And this is where habits come into play. Players think they can turn that switch on and off at their beckoning call, but it doesn't work that way. That's why coaches talk about practicing good habits on a daily basis, because they show up in the fourth.
Good look that time, but off the mark. Fires the three. Message received. Well defended. Stuffs it down with authority.
The defender needs to do a better job of forcing a pickup there.
To Wade. Here comes the screen. Dwayne Wade. To Jaren Jackson. Deep left corner. Lets it fly from long range. That's off the side of the rim. No good.
In the first half, he pretty much made every single shot. It was magical to watch. But now that you have drawn so much attention, try to get your teammates more involved.
Having Michael Brogdon on their team.
That's no good.
I love when I see a good contest. You're crowding the player's landing space, which naturally makes him worrisome about turning an ankle on that landing.
So I think that means one on the ball.
Good. Off a spin.
This type of game needs to be celebrated. This is the type of culture that is fostered when you play with unselfish players. When you give up a little bit of yourself and you make your teammate look great, that's the difference between winning and losing. So when you see these guys smiling, when you see them giving each other high fives, that's because of the energy that was created from the pass. Pass is one of the most brilliant things we have in this game.
Jones with it. They lead it. 4-point game. Jaren Jackson with the dunk.
Well, we got a chance to firsthand watch something be created. I think we just watched an epidemic of passing. I've never seen something like this before. It was so contagious, everybody started to do it, and it ultimately led to the other team's demise.
If that's an epidemic, sign me up. Now the Grizzlies will use a timeout. That's their first of the final 3 minutes. That leaves them with 1 remaining.
You're going to see the best players make in-game adjustments on the fly. The intellect of some of these superstars is off the charts. Your ability to adapt and move forward.
Substitutions, Memphis.
Evans takes it right to the rim. A lot of contact there, but they say no foul.
Look, the most efficient offenses are the ones with the highest number of assists. There are only 5 teams in the league that average 25 assists or more.
And scores.
That might have been a little bit easier than expected there, considering the score.
Cavs at the controls. Sexton to Evans. Driving right to the basket. He cruises in for 2. Too easy.
No doubt about where that one was headed.
Jones with it. 2-point advantage to Jaren Jackson. To Valanciunas. For 3, knocks it down. Defender has to get there next time.
And watching all these great shooters on the floor at once, it almost mesmerizes me. It's like you're watching this shot in slow motion. The backspin, it gives off the feel that the ball's going in every time.
Surprising that $80 not back out here, bro.
Sexton to Evans. Easy pad to the rim.
This type of game needs to be celebrated. This is the type of culture that is fostered when you play with unselfish players. When you give up a little bit of yourself and you make your teammate look great, that's the difference between winning and losing. So when you see these guys smiling, when you see them giving each other high fives, that's because of the energy that was created from the pass. Pass is one of the most brilliant things we have in this game.
Going to launch beyond the arc. On the follow. Way to stay with it.
I remember my high school coach said 1 man can't beat 5. Well, I'm telling you right now, he lied. I'm watching it happen in person.
And he's fouled. Earns a trip to the foul line, Jake.
No. I'll tell you, the team that makes the little mistakes, like committing unnecessary reach-in fouls like that, will be the team that ends up with the L.
Knocks down the first. And gets both to drop at the line. Beyond the arc for 3. Cavs able to clear the rebound. Wow, look at him dive for the loose ball. Memphis with the run. To Valanciunas. With the fadeaway. Burns him for the basket.
You've heard it before. Slow and steady wins the race. This approach might be working out after all.
Now the Cavs gonna signal for timeout. They'll need a quick shot and then likely a quick foul in what is now a 2-possession game.
When you're trying to untangle something and shit just don't work for you.
Doesn't have the touch. No good. There's the whistle and an intentional foul. Just their first in the final 2 minutes, so no free throws yet. They'll take the ball out of bounds.
Too close to call right now. We're in clock management mode. That was a good play.
And an intentional foul here in the closing moments. But it shouldn't make too much of a difference in what is now a 2-score game.
Okay, now look over to the sideline and see what the staff is trying to draw up on the next play. That's good clock management thus far.
2 for 2 on that trip.
Good shot, boy.
Grizzlies get the victory as they get a good win on the road. For Jay Williams and all our crew, I'm Ed Cohen saying so long for now. This has been a presentation of the NBA on EA Sports.
Hey everyone, it's Jalen Rose, and it's time for the EA Sports post-game wrap-up. The Grizzlies got the win in a close game. And of course I've got to mention how many times they scored from beyond the arc. They were so confident with the 3-ball, and it was instrumental to their success. Check out the leading scores for the Memphis Grizzlies. The Cavaliers are probably frustrated with themselves after such a narrow loss. Chemistry was clearly not the issue today because they were definitely sharing the ball well. Still, everyone knows they'd rather be sharing the joy of a victory. Check out the leading scores for the Cleveland Cavaliers.
Game track. Field goals.
This was a matchup in which solid shooting was prominently on display. I definitely enjoyed it. Like I'm loving enjoying all of these highlights right now. Great job of effective, efficient scoring from these squads.
Player of the game.
When you see these highlights, it's easy to see how this guy earned the award. His impact on the game wasn't lost on anyone.
Who was cold?
This isn't the segment you want to be in, of course, but even the best players find their way into this part of the show. Here we go with the top 3 plays.
Number 2. Number 1.
Take a look at the upcoming games for the Cleveland Cavaliers. And that does it for our post-game wrap-up. On behalf of ESPN on EA Sports, I'm Jalen Rose. Thanks for joining us.
devices. If you need to buy yourself a kit of some of the most high-quality precision tools, I recommend iFixit. You can go to iFixit.com/TronicsMix. I'll have a link right in the description that'll take you there. And thank you again to iFixit for sponsoring. So I'm just going to get all of these screws out, and we'll take a look at the inside. These metal mesh pieces right here are just totally jammed up in this top cover. They get caught on here if you're not careful. Not too big of a deal, we can straighten those out. Okay, we got a dirty fan. Not necessarily a big deal. Expected that. So, looks like we have all the parts. That's good news. Got the hard drive right here, this part right here, the power supply here, and the fan right here. So I'm going to take all of these off so we can get down to the motherboard and have a better look at the motherboard itself. We've got excess thermal paste all here. This is not too big of a deal because it's viscous thermal paste, so we can actually just kind of scoop it up and put it back on those chips where it's supposed to be on, but just shows kind of how somebody wasn't really paying attention when they put it on. And here's the bottom side of the board. Nothing too crazy over here. This right here is the custom speaker. Now, I'm assuming that the custom chime is kind of built into this speaker, but it is possible that there's something that sends the correct signal here. But I think this chime would work assuming you have the right circuitry on any Xbox One X. I could be wrong on that though. You can exit clamp off, you can flip it over and remove the heatsink, and see what it looks like under here. Yeah, that's kind of what I thought. There's absolutely zero thermal paste. They really scratched this though. Look at this. That is definitely not the way to remove thermal paste. Theoretically, putting new thermal paste on this will be fine. The thermal paste will fill in all those little gouges and grooves. But either way, this is just definitely not the way to remove it. You don't need to scrape it up or scratch it up with a screwdriver. All you have to do is use like a cotton bud, Q-tip, and just go through and remove it like that. But did they use a screwdriver on the chip itself? It does look like it. That is nice and smooth still. I don't see any damage on any of these little chips around the die here, so I think we're good there. So most likely one of two things is going on here, or possibly both. The first thing that comes to mind is the redriver chip on this board. The second thing that comes to mind is the hard drive. If the hard drive goes bad on the Xbox One X, or even the Xbox One, it can actually cause a no signal issue, and it can actually cause it to turn off like it turned off. But before we get to any of that diagnosis, I'm going to put new thermal paste in this, and then put it back together, and I'm going to plug it back in and test, because it's just overheating and shutting down. It's just overheating and shutting down. With new thermal paste, it will let it stay cool enough to stay on longer, and see if anything comes up on the screen. I'm not going to worry about getting this super clean, just because we just needed to stay cool enough to test it. So this doesn't have to be perfect by any means. But the amount of thermal paste I put on will definitely be the perfect amount. And there we go. Alright, and with the perfect amount of thermal paste installed, let's get it back together and see if it stays longer. Okay, back together, enough to test. Let's see what happens. Power good. And nothing after that. And this has the fan isn't even spinning, it's just doing nothing. It does have power because the bell is going, but it just refuses to start up. Okay, we get a white light. I unplugged the HDMI cable and then plugged it back in, and then we got a white light. I don't know if that points to possibly a redriver, but it kind of makes me wonder. And then it just powered off. And so far the fan isn't starting at all. I just keep starting it up over and over, letting it power off, just to see if anything will happen and if it'll stay on. And so far it is not. And it's still doing the exact same thing. So what I'm going to do is remove this top cover, and then I'm going to unplug the hard drive, and I'm going to try and power it on again and see if we get the same symptoms. So what I'm looking for here is to see if it does the exact same thing. If it does the exact same thing, it's probably not a hard drive issue. Nope.
Hello? Yes. You're welcome. I believe so. Because I'm a Jersey person. No. No. I didn't have the money. Hopefully. Yes. Different ones. Different ones. Yes. Uh, Probably Hornets in Miami. Probably going to wait. Okay.
It is NBA
You
action
too.
on EA Sports. I'm
Bye.
Ed Cohen. Great to be joined by Jay Williams. Should be a terrific game here tonight. We're at Moda Center in downtown Portland, Oregon. Tonight, it's the Portland Trail Blazers taking on the Memphis Grizzlies.
I understand that I don't want nothing to do with y'all. Shit.
The Blazers secure the opening tip, and we're underway in Portland. Short jumper won't fall. Trying to take it all the way, but it's no good. Whiteside to Lillard. Oh, he's denied.
Oh, big man doing work right there.
To Wade from long range. Like the confidence, but a tough shot for Dwayne Wade. Trailblazers with the basketball. Right down Broadway for the two. Defender has to pick him up.
You normally don't see that, but that's the type of thing that keeps shooters in the league for a long time. Every once in a while, they venture into the paint.
Jaren Jackson. To Valanciunas. Lillard to Whiteside. Has a chance. Oh, how do you stop that? Nice step back from Whiteside.
Oh, man, you're not supposed to be able to do that with that size, but in today's game, dexterity and mobility are off the charts for bigs.
To Jaren Jackson. Lets it fly from beyond the arc. They swarm Jaren Jackson. Missed the shot. To Lillard. Oh, denied.
As my old teammate RJ would say, stay down, clown.
It's good. Count the basket and the foul.
The offense has very little to lose on those type of plays if they know they can, number one, create contact, and number two, still get the ball up. you need to assert yourself fully on the defensive end by initiating the contact and not allowing the offensive player to get that ball above his waist.
Layup's good. Those are the types of shots you always strive for.
When the ball's in his hands, we all knew what was going to happen.
A drive baseline, but the shot won't go.
And one of the most underrated things in this game is quick lateral speed. Good job by utilizing that speed and taking away the lane.
Knocks it down from mid-range.
I get tired of hearing guys say, I was there, I contested a shot, I pretty much had a hand in his face. Well, no, you have to change up the game. If a guy is right-handed, he is right eye dominant. Get that hand over his right eye, block his vision. That'll enhance his chances of missing the shot.
It's Grizzlies ball. He throws it down.
An easy two. Get back on defense.
Surveys the floor. Lillard. To Whiteside. And the finish. Slam dunk.
It's that easy, Ed. You never want to leave any doubt when attacking the rim.
Couple of cracks at the line now.
It's still early, so no real impact on that call. But you know that they're going to call this one tight, so you might want to keep your hands out of his pocket.
First one goes down. Able to convert on both free throws. Portland has the ball. Lillard here against Jones. Sizing up the defense. Lillard on the drive, but he can't finish. Another follow stays out. The follow won't go either. And the drop.
Oh, he just blocked that shot out of bounds.
Yeah, they're lucky they get the ball back. Coach is going to shift gears and adjust his matchups.
Come on, y'all, let's go get it. It's on me.
Substitutions, Memphis. Stepping in for the Portland Trailblazers.
Here's a chance from long range. Textbook defense. Lillard. Screen coming. Ingram guarded by Tyus Jones. Short jumper misses.
It's easy. Force guys into low percentage shots. That's the reason why we're big into stats. It was all provided to you before the game in the scouting report.
I got him. Here we go.
Oh, whistle.
A simple touch foul.
That's his first personal foul. Team foul number 2.
Lillard defended by Jones. Oh, nice find for the basket.
And the last 10 sequences down the court, everybody's touched the ball. You don't see anybody with any kind of negative expressions on their face because everybody's eating.
Over to the right side. 4-3. Buries it on the catch and shoot.
And I don't know why the defense continues to help on guys that drive. Make them take shots over your bigs. By you helping more, you're just leaving three-point shooters open on the perimeter.
Missed a wide open look. Danny Green rejects it.
Just incredible timing on that swat.
Jones with it. They lead it. 4-point game. And look out. Big finish at the rim.
Well, they have such great flow to their offense this
Here's
evening.
what happened to you, Dane. You shouldn't learn a guy in my way
It's
for
moving around the
MVP, brother.
perimeter, and it's zipping.
No, I
They're
have to
playing with a
dominate
special
this whole
cohesiveness.
team.
Whiteside. Cruises inside for two.
Attack mode isn't a switch that you can just turn on and off. He needs to do more of that. We need to see him penetrate, get into that lane, and create.
Dwayne Wade. Going to launch beyond the arc. Oh, that's how it's done.
Ed, let me tell you how this one goes. It ain't no fun if the homies can't have some. Everyone's getting a piece of the rock tonight.
Trying to cash in. Shot by Ingram misses. Wade. For three. That's how you defend. To Lillard.
Who the hell is this guy?
And he finishes at the rim.
It looks like he's using his ball handling to feel the game out. I know it looks like he's just playing around out there trying to get the fans going. That is true, but he's also finding his rhythm.
Tough-looking shot there. Still gets it to go down.
Look, the most efficient offenses are the ones with the highest number of assists. There are only 5 teams in the league that average 25 assists or more.
To Danny Green. Fires the three. Danny Green can't get that one to go. Defense all over him.
Shooters shoot. Period. I don't want to hear any excuses. That's why you're on the floor. You keep doing what you're doing with that superior confidence.
Hassan Whiteside pins it.
Ooh, he blocked that with authority.
It's Portland ball. To Harkless. It's Lillard for two. D's got it. Damian Lillard not looking pretty. 3 for 10.
You see, you can't actually get mesmerized by the ball. You actually have to focus on the dribbler's belly button. I know that may sound cheesy, but trust me, he can't go anywhere without his core.
Lets it fly from long range. That's off the side of the rim, short. Damian Lillard missed it. He always has the green light, but the defense was ready. Jones with it. Leads just a point. Slam dunk. He was ready right at the tip.
What a first half he's having. He came out of the gate, attacked, found ways to get to the rim. Now look how easy the game is coming to him.
Lillard picked up by Jones. Has a look. Jumper's good.
Did you see the way that dribble freed him up? It created so much space. I did, but the defender didn't.
Just enough of a head fake to help on that one.
One of the best in the biz right there. Maybe the best.
Trailblazers take over.
I got him. Hey, you got the screen right.
Lillard here against Jones. Finishing inside the paint on that one.
I don't know what halftime evaluation will be worse, the ankles or the bruised ego.
To Danny Green. Fires the three. Another chance. Nice touch around the basket with the tip.
In the paint, you need to finish just like that.
Lillard. Now Ingram down low. And watch him do the rest. Slam dunk.
You know, from a point guard perspective, one of the things that I learned when I played in the league was that the more I was willing to give the ball up, the harder other players were willing to run to their spots. The harder the bigs were running to the rim. The harder the three-point shooters were running to the three-point line because they knew they could be active recipients. And when they caught the ball, they knew exactly what to do with it.
First half in the books. The Grizzlies out in front.
In 0.1 second. I was gonna make it anyway. Wasn't gonna make it at the buzzer beater.
Thanks, Ed. The Grizzlies are in a tight battle after 2 quarters. Clearly, the number of three-pointers these guys scored in the first half was incredible. And if they can keep that up, it's going to be tough to keep that team down. Have a look at the leading scorers for the Memphis Grizzlies. The Trailblazers are within striking distance at the half. And without question, they can put themselves in a position to win this game if they continue to rack up the assists. These are the guys getting buckets for the Portland Trailblazers.
Game track. Assists.
The first half is exactly what coaches want to see from their players offensively. The ball is moving, players are taking great shots, and the assist totals keep going up.
Player of the half.
I'm ready to skip ahead and just get this guy player of the game. You can tell he's on his way to a special game.
Who was cold?
Every player that makes it to the NBA is a great athlete, but even the best players have off nights. Today has just been one of those nights for this guy. Here are the top plays.
Number 2. Number 1.
The Clippers is always winning, bro. Don't y'all and lose sometimes. Like, what the?
Thanks for joining us for the halftime report. The second half is about to get started.
The controls right now to Wade. Takes stock of the floor. Dwayne Wade. Beyond the arc for 3. Tough shot.
Welcome to the roller coaster ride of basketball. Just because you are knocking down those open looks in the first half doesn't mean you're going to knock them down all game long.
Lillard, guarded by Tyus Jones. Curling inside. And counted at the rim.
Might have had an extra dribble or two there, but he got the shot he wanted.
Wade. From long range. Can't connect. Lillard, defended by Jones. To McCollum. Here comes the screen. McCollum. 24-second violation.
Oh, Tyus Jones, but okay.
Dwayne Wade. Hassan Whiteside sends it away. Calls out of bounds. Last touch by Hassan Whiteside. Wade. And he buries it.
Here's a tip for your defense. You can't give him that much space. You have to push up into his personal space and make him play the majority of the possessions with his back to the basket. Because if you allow him to open up, there's no stopping.
Perfect feed to set up the basket.
And a lot of passers usually have their head on the swivel, but ultimately, either you have a feel for the game or you don't.
Lets it fly from beyond the arc. Well defended.
When you have cold shooting like this in the second half, you have to find other ways to score than just relying on the three-point shot. Maybe try turning that corner off that PNR and getting to the rack.
Leaves his man in the dust and finishes at the rim.
Oh, he buckled his knees so bad, it didn't matter if he scored or not. That's a win for the internet.
To Jaren Jackson. Here's a chance from long range and drills it. Jay, spacing can be a beautiful thing.
Great shot by the offense, but the defense, you can't afford to collapse off that penetration. I'd rather a team take a tough 2 than a wide open 3.
And he drains it.
This is where I go back into player mode. If the dude starts to try to have 40 points on me, I'm going to foul out. I'm going to start hitting him in places he's not used to being hit. I'm trying to do anything to throw him off his game.
4-3. Not going down here.
So what I want to try and do is see if I can place
Portland's got it.
speaker and circuitry onto another known good Xbox One X motherboard, and then I can put this
Lillard.
hard drive into that same Xbox.
Shot by Lillard,
Still
no
good.
good.
Still like my fault.
We can save the chime. So this is the speaker and circuitry for the Taco Bell Special Edition Xbox One X, and this is what it looks like on
To
just
Lillard.
a regular Xbox One X. So I'm hoping that I can
Knocks it down from mid-range. Dwayne Wade. To Jaren Jackson. Going to launch. Beyond the arc. They swarm Jaren Jackson. Missed the shot. Dame rises. Shot by Lillard. No good. To Valanciunas. Now ready for a couple of free throws.
No. I'll tell you, the team that makes the little mistakes, like committing unnecessary reaching fouls like that, will be the team that ends up with the L.
Jonas Valanciunas. Couple of free throws on the way. He's perfect from the line so far.
Yes.
Oops. He missed the first one. No good on the first, no good on the second. 0 for 2. Lillard, defended by Jones. For 3, message received. Well defended.
Great contest by the D, but I want to see the coaching staff call the same exact play the next possession. Get that offensive player the ball. Let him prove that it wasn't the D. It was more in his own head.
And the defender over pursues, and he's called for it.
That's just a blatant foul. Maybe he's trying to make a statement.
Lillard, guarded by Tyus Jones. Has a chance. Add 2 points to the board.
No doubt about where that one was headed.
Off the mark. To Lillard. And scores.
Yeah, I've been in this situation before. Just raise your hand. We got to switch.
Nothing going here on that drive. Dwayne Wade. Consistent effort. He's at 50%.
I don't know if the scouting report has made its way out here yet, but if anything, it says you need to not let him get that close to the rim.
Lillard to Nurkic.
What the fuck?
Count the bucket for 2.
He's been doing this for years. The physicality in which he plays. No one wants to see that. You're going to lead the game with black and blue marks all over your body.
And he hits.
Clearly not afraid of the spotlight here, because that was not an easy look.
Trailblazers with the basketball. Lillard for 2. And
Hell
he
no.
scores. Unguardable, Jay.
Ooh, cool, calm, and collective. The 3 C's. His handles are effortless.
To Wade. Fires Fires the three, buries it on the catch and shoot.
You know, from a point guard perspective, one of the things that I learned when I played in the league was that the more I was willing to give the ball up, the harder other players were willing to run to their spots. The harder the bigs were running to the rim. The harder the three-point shooters were running to the three-point line because they knew they could be active recipients. And when they caught the ball, they knew exactly what to do with it.
Brandon Ingram, huge block.
Just erasing mistakes left and right.
To Valanciunas. And the rebound taken in by the Blazers. And they call the foul. Breeze there, Jay.
He took a chance. That's the right call.
Okay, and now we have a fix. I hope. We have a clean. Let's see if it makes the noise when we turn it on. Come on.
Driving is Lillard, but his shot won't fall. Jones with it. His guys down by 9. Almost. Unlucky bounce. Wade, snatching it out of the air.
Sent a message on that one, Ed.
Here comes the screen. The Blazers with 4 in the shot clock to Lillard. Trying to cash in, can't connect. Jones with it. 9-point margin. Gets to the basket and scores.
This type of game needs to be celebrated. This is the type of culture that is fostered when you play with unselfish players. When you give up a little bit of yourself and you make your teammate look great, that's the difference between winning and losing. So when you see these guys smiling, when you see them giving each other high fives, that's because of the energy that was created from the pass. Pass is one of the most brilliant things we have in this game.
Oh my God, he hit the nail in his hand. A1, bro.
Oh, a whistle.
His timing was a tad bit off.
Off the mark on the first free throw. Good recovery. Hits the second free throw. Late heave to beat the buzzer. It's the Trailblazers who get the victory as they take care of business at home. For Jay Williams and all our crew.
I hate this damn coach.
The Trailblazers finish with a narrow. On
They
behalf
could've
of
won.
Ed Cohen and
They
Jay
would've just gave me the
Williams,
fucking
this is
ball.
Jalen Rose signing off.
Okay, let's update. Philadelphia made it. Golden State made it. And the Lakers made it. Dallas, like I said, was eliminated. Washington again got eliminated. So, there go your updated bracket for the playoffs, almost. So, I'm going to take a break, and I'll probably be back on later. So, like, comment, and subscribe. So we only got the Knicks and Timberwolves next. So, that's the last two games I'm playing. I'll see the other two later, or next week.